Hello and welcome to It's About Youth with me, Fei Kwan. Many associate the year-end holidays with the season of giving. And while this festive season may be a very joyful time for some, many families in Malaysia's B40 community continue to face daily struggles that don't pause for the holidays. So today we're looking at what poverty looks like on the ground in Malaysia, urban Malaysia, and the role that youth can play in supporting underprivileged communities. Joining me on the show today to speak a little bit more about this is Darren Teoh, President from Great Vision Charity Association, as well as Andrew Lim, a former social worker and volunteer at Great Vision Charity Association. Thank you, both of you, for joining me today.
Thanks for having us.
It's a pleasure having you here, especially at this time of the year as everything is wrapping up. Firstly, Darren, to start us off for this episode, maybe you could share a little bit with us, or how would you describe the current state of poverty and urban hardship in Malaysia today?
Okay, in my opinion, now, at this moment, the poverty situation is very different from like 10, 15 years ago, where a lot of families, they look okay, yeah, from the outside, but inside the home, you can see they are struggling actually, because with the cost of living is so high, they have to juggle so many things in the family, like for example, transportation, education for the children, yeah, and a lot of others like maybe job struggles, yeah. So there are so many things they have to take care of, yeah. So that's why we are here. We are helping these families, especially for the education part, yeah, to ease their burden, yeah, of shouldering and supporting the family, yeah. That's right.
It's definitely great work that the both of you do, but I'm curious, when it comes to the B40 community and the ones that you work with on the ground, what do these families typically look like? What are their backgrounds, or any specific challenges or their daily realities?
Actually, they are like just typical families, yeah. A lot of families, they are, they look okay, yeah, just normal family, but with a single hope. They just want like a safe home. They want stable income, yeah. So, and also education for children. These are just the core important support they need from us, yeah, from the society. Other than that, you can see a lot of family nowadays, they don't really look into, like, especially with the cost of living is so high, they don't really look into luxury items. What they need is just the basic needs, yeah.
Putting food on the table.
Food on the table, yeah, correct. So that is something that we hope every family can at least materialize, you know, the basic needs they want, yeah. So with the help and support from the society, I believe this can be achieved, yeah. Just that we need everybody's help. Just a little small act and support, we can make the society different. Yeah.
Everyone has a role to play, and I'd like to get to that a little bit later in the interview. But okay. Andrew, how about you? From your years volunteering and as a former social worker, what are the kind of families that you've worked with and the challenges that they face?
So I think one of the issue is the isolation. People assume that help is everywhere, and they often get isolated or not being looked into or overlooked into that, like government offices or NGO shelter support system. But because of those, people assume that the help is everywhere. So because of that assumption, those who are struggling, they're often quietly overlooked from it. Yeah.
Okay.
So they don't, and the B40 families, they often don't ask for help. They hardly reach out for help, because they might feel embarrassed, and they may feel that, you know, this aid or this support, it's not meant for people like us, things like that. Or sometimes they may think that they're not qualified for that, because on paper, they may look stable. Yeah.
Okay, that's quite an interesting insight, and it goes to show that there needs to be a bit more communication and outreach to these sort of communities, right? For them to know what kind of aid that they can access. You spoke, Darren, a little bit about the rising cost of living. I was wondering if you could elaborate a little bit more about that. How has that changed over the years and affected the families that Great Vision works with? We know, I mean, even for us, groceries are expensive, property is getting more expensive. What's it like?
Yeah, there are so many aspects in life that, you know, all this family has to take care of. Like, for example, a few important ones like education and medical bill. That is something that a lot of families are struggling to to overcome and to support. So that's the reason why we constantly need funding to help these people. And luckily, we get the support from the society, from the public to support this good cause. And you can see that with the changes of lifestyle, they have been living with, we are able to give them not only material support, we also able to give them, like, for example, mentorship, advice, and also psychology support. All these are so important that they might be able to overcome not just financial help, but also how they view, the life as a human being. That is something that we would want to change. So I believe that especially like this kind of interview helps to spread the news out, the message that we want to spread out to the people, to really put in some effort to help this group of people.
Well, thank you for pointing out mental well-being. I think that is a topic that is always brought up in our shows, especially among the youth. And Andrew, with Great Vision Charity working so much with B40 communities, but I wonder about the young people within these communities, the youths and underprivileged students. What are some of the biggest barriers that they face when it comes to personal development?
When you mentioned that the biggest barriers, I think that from my own opinion or my observation, I think that many of the communities think that financial strain is the biggest barriers in education or sort. But I think that is just, financial strain is just the surface of all the other issues. What really the bigger challenge is actually the emotional exhaustion. The social, the lack of social connections or proper guidance to them.
And the anxiety that comes with it as well.
Yes, correct. Because this is comes from many youths from the B40 families. Actually, they come from, they grow up in a very survival mode from the family. So aside from their studies, they actually have to take care of the family, taking care of the siblings. Some even may have, after school, have to help out with the parents' stalls.
Almost sort of like forcing these kids to grow up a little bit faster, right? Taking on the role of their parents.
Yes. So their focus are actually, they have to divide their focus, what I'm trying to say. They have to divide their focus, and not only in studies, but also, like what you say, they are forced to grow up, to be an adult.
No playtime.
Correct.
Is
so since young, they started to shoulder the burden of supporting the family, to share the burdens with the family. So
So if you talk about personal growth or personal development, I think there is no time for them to think about growing up or think about making their future plans. It became a luxury for them.
It's just about getting through the day.
The week. Especially when their life is already a struggle almost a day.
And often I find that a lot of youth nowadays, they have this doubt in their mind, like, am I good enough? So that's how at Great Vision, we are able to give them mentorship, to guide them so that they can grow into a good human being. That's our mission. Not just financial support, but also physical, mentally and psychologically.
And this is why I think it's the second point that I think can bring up. It's that information gap. It's another issue. The barriers for them. They may not have access to NGOs like us or programs that government or even other NGOs, not only us, that the scholarship programs, living aid program. All this is actually, there's an information gap. They do not know how to access to it or how to apply to it. So I think this is another issue that has been facing from the youths.
All right, thank you so much for laying out the challenges. I'd definitely like to delve a little bit deeper into that, as well as the role that youths can play. But first, let's head for a quick break. Stay with us. Welcome back to It's About Youth, where today we're looking at urban poverty and the role youth play in giving back to underprivileged communities. Now, earlier we were talking about the barriers that youth face when it comes to personal development. There are struggles with both financial and mental well-being, being forced to grow up a little bit faster, and not having that childhood to just play and be a kid. Now, over at your sister NGO, Great Heart, Andrew, I understand that over the years you've also guided many student groups to plan and execute charity projects and encourage the younger generation to be involved in charities. So it's kind of like the youths helping fellow youths. What would you say, though, are some of the most common misunderstandings that youth have when it comes to helping communities in need?
I think that many have the concept that charity has to be something, something big, something dramatic, or
a lot
something
of money.
like correct. It involves a lot of money, doing big donations and all. But I do not completely agree with that. Charity is, to me, charity is about giving, and giving can be something small. It can be a small contribution, starting like cooking a meal for your friends or family, or giving a class to a child, or passing a skill to a child, all these things. And sometimes all this small contribution can actually bring a very huge impact too. It can affect, or it may even change a person's life. For instance, we have one of our founder, Mr. Rick. He once shared that one time he was at our community center, and one old lady, we were giving her lunch box every day. So one day she saw Rick, and she was really touched, and she was holding Rick's hands like, hey, thank you, Rick, thank you so much, you have helped me so much. So what I'm trying to say is that sometimes it's just as simple as giving a lunch box, but it actually changed her life. It actually, I won't say changed, but it created an impact for her. It did something to improve her life. Yeah. And also another misconception that I think that many students think that charity is a one-way thing. Like, once I was talking to a university student, I asked him, what is the definition of charity to you? And he told me that charity is giving or sacrificing for others. It's not completely wrong, but what I think is that it can be mutual. Charity can be mutual. Speaking for myself, coming from a background of social worker since I was 21 years old. So I've been a social worker for 6 years. And to me, I came from a very average family. But going on ground actually showed me I've learned different things. Meaning I've learned to appreciate more on the things that I have. Or maybe things that I have not noticed yet. Or the situation of my life, And secondly, it actually motivated me to do better for my life, for my family, how to change my life. Because going on ground, I'm seeing a lot of B40s families, their issues, their situations. Actually, it motivates me differently. So I think it can be mutual. We learn something through their life as well. Yeah.
And as you said, it's not just big acts of giving. Sometimes it's just giving your time, giving up that few hours to volunteer and give back to the community. I think I'm very curious because I loved hearing your stories, your personal insights from your time on the ground and how it's changed or touched people on both ends. I was wondering if you could share a little bit more about that. Has there been a moment that really touched or stayed with you, or something that really reflects the work that you do, the power of support, mentorship, and maybe even intervention at the right time? Darren, shall we start with you?
We have a program called the Dedicase program. So we help the B40 families, to ease the education part, especially the fees. So there was a girl from the B40 family. She wanted to give up her education because the family couldn't support it. So we were able to support her, to let her further her studies until diploma. And she got pretty good results. And what she told me was, after finishing her studies, she wanted to give back because she think she received something good from us. She also would want to give back something good to the society. That was very touching. I was very impressed with her thinking. Yeah. So I tell myself, yeah, our mentorship works. Yeah. That not just financially help her, we also help her to grow to be a better person. Right. Yeah. So you can see with the help from us, this whole thing really inspired the whole cycle of giving. Yeah. It doesn't just stop there. Yeah. Can you imagine if everyone who receive our help, yeah, do the same thing? Mm-hmm. So that will multiply, and eventually the group of people that is willing to give back to the society will be growing bigger and bigger. Mm-hmm. Yeah, that is something that we want to see.
It shows that just one small step can really make a big difference.
Exactly.
Right? And Andrew, how about you?
Myself is actually, there's a case a few years back that I personally helped. So a little bit backstory about that case is that one day I was, my colleague and I, during that time, we were traveling for a meeting in Malacca. So there's this old uncle I saw, he was walking next to the main road with a stick. So it's not like tongkat or anything, but it's a tree stick.
A branch?
A branch,
okay.
Yes, correct. He was walking with two branch and his leg was wrapped. So after that, I decided to stop and said that, you know, maybe he needed to go somewhere. Let me just give him a lift. So I'm like, oh, okay. I went down and then I spoke to him. I said, hey, uncle, where you going? He said, I'm going home. I said, uncle, okay, I give you a ride home, okay, since your leg is injured. So after that, he told me that I'm home. So I just need to walk in my house. So I looked on my left. I was stunned because the house looked abandoned. It was full of banana trees, all the rumput, all this kind of thing, you know. So, but anyhow, I still walked him into the house and the door wasn't locked. It was already half open. So I pushed the door, I walked him in. I was stunned. I was really stunned. Then the kwali was black. It wasn't washed and there's a motorbike inside the house. A lot of things. And the house is smaller than a usual PPR size. Right. So, and then I went into his room. He was sleeping on a plywood. That's all he was sleeping. So I went back to the car. I told my colleague, you know what, let's just do a house assessment on the spot. So my colleague and I, we went and do the assessment. He said we offered him to transfer him to old folks home because we got to know that he's actually single. He don't have any next of kin. So we said, you want to go to he cried. He started crying because he's been wanting to go to old folks home, but he knows that the procedure, it's really complicated. So he don't want to be a burden to anyone. He has a niece that brings him to clean his wound every week. So we went, the following day we went there. You know, the following day we went and picked him up to visit the old folks home, but he decided not to because it's too far. It's not convenient for his niece to send him to a hospital every week. So, but it was the first time that I cried. I look at the case that I cried. Yeah, but we after that decided to refurbish his house. We got pest control to clean everything out, you know, to potong all the rumput and stuff lah. But this was a case that really motivated me a lot, or made me think of why I chose social work as my professional career path during that time. Because I felt that charity isn't about just, like what I mentioned, isn't just about giving donation or doing events. Sometimes it's about the timing. It's about showing up at the right time, helping the right person, providing the right help that may change his life. Because after that, we also did a follow-up. We've been giving him groceries every month. So I think, yeah.
Okay, I hope he's doing well.
Yep, he's doing well right now. He's doing really well right now because I did a video online and it went viral, and some people actually went and visit him as well and gave him some help. Yeah.
Yeah, actually there are so many inspiring stories. Yeah, because we have been established for 12 years. Yeah, and every year we have so many programs, so many activities. Yeah, we have seen so many people that need helps. Yeah. So, yeah, if you ask us about stories, we can share the whole day.
We can go on.
We can go on and on.
Unfortunately, it's a half-an-hour program, but thank you for sharing. And it really shows, you know, whether it is providing tertiary education for a student, helping out an uncle on the roadside, you were really there at the right place at the right time and helped to change their lives. And especially, you know, for you, Andrew, you've mentioned that you were a social worker since you were 21. And I wonder if other youths can be motivated or encouraged to follow in your footsteps, or Darren, for you to be able to mentor more youths to be able to do something similar. For those who are skeptical about this, what do you have to say? Why should youth care about poverty? Why should they care about inequality, helping out? What sort of unique strengths or perspectives do you think they bring to the table?
They should care, definitely. Yeah. Okay, youth nowadays, they are very, very different. Yeah. They are very, very creative. They have a different view of problems. Yeah. They can have a very refreshing solution on problem-solving skills. Yeah. So with that, we should include them in every aspect of the current society problems. Yeah, because they have a different way of solving the problems. Yeah, so we need to talk to them more often. We need to have time to spend with them, understand their needs. Yeah, to know them, to keep educating them about why the society need them. Yeah, why we need their help to make this world a better place. Yeah, so this is not just a charity future. This is not just a charity cause. This is our future. It's our nation future. So we need them to together with us to form a better nation. Yeah, that's how we often have a lot of programs to include the youth. Yeah. So that they can understand what we are doing, they can get involved, they can also participate and get involved in the arranging and coordinating our work. Yeah. So with that, the involvement of these youth, they get to have interest. Yeah. How this kind of charity work helps, you know, in growing their personal growth. That's how we have all these programs to cultivate the youth involvement. Yeah.
And I'm curious, what does meaningful volunteering among youth or meaningful youth involvement look like for you? Is there anything that they can do beyond just the one-time charity drive, something more long-term and sustained?
Yeah, definitely. There are more long-term programs that we encourage them to take part. Yeah, doing a charity program is not just like going for one event, take pictures, post in social media and announcing that, oh, I do something good. It's not like that. Yeah, it's beyond that. Yeah, so it has to be constant commitment. You have to show up in the programs. Yeah, you have to spend some time to understand the needs of the needies. Yeah, so all these are important as a volunteer. Yeah, so in order to cultivate that, our program is actually very fun. Yeah, we don't just go there to help people. That's it. We go there to help people. We want them not just to spend a day with the needies. Yeah, we have a program for them to get involved, in the long term. For example, helping a kids, in their studies. It's not just one time, 1 hour teaching. Yeah, so our volunteer also spend like weekly, monthly, to give them free tuitions. Yeah, to give them like mentorship. So along the way, actually they both learn. They both grow. Yeah, so they see the value in that. Yeah, that is something that we want. Yeah.
And for those who are watching this show today, some of them may be inspired, or youth especially, they may want to help but they don't know where to start. Both of you are the best people to ask for this. What sort of opportunities are available for them to contribute and really make a difference? Maybe Andrew, we start with you.
I think that you can start with us. We are a very group of young volunteers. We have a lot of young volunteers with us, which is why our events and all is usually very hyped up, very happy, very fun going. So even the older volunteers actually enjoyed spending time with all of us. So, but I think no matter where you're at, which NGO youth want to join, it's important to find the right or choose the right NGO to be attached with or to participate in. Because I think that the right NGO has the right protocol, has the right SOP to conduct their programs. For instance, like at our NGO, Great Heart or Great Vision, either way, you know, we have very strict SOP to choose or filter out our beneficiaries. So this can actually ensure that we are helping the right people and making our action or our giving back, it's going towards the right direction, so we don't help the wrong party as well, or letting or helping people who are trying to take advantage of it.
That's a good point to raise, ensuring that the funds really go to those who need it. And
correct.
Darren, yourself?
Yeah, I totally agree with Andrew. Yeah, so actually we have 4 NGOs. Yeah, we have Great Vision, Great Heart Charity, and we have Earth Warrior. If the youth, they are into ESG, you know, they love recycling, you know, they love our Mother Earth, so they can join our Earth Warrior.
Yep.
We have a lot of, every week we have activities, street cleaning activities.
Okay, yeah.
So we encourage people, the youth especially, to join us.
Those with the energy to
yes,
get out.
exactly. Yeah, get out in the morning, you know, go out, you know, on the street, we pick up rubbish. Yeah. So, and also we have 1 coffin donation. Yeah. So we have 4 NGOs. And of course, all these NGOs are approachable. Yeah. The youth, they can join us depending on what they want to achieve. Yeah. So I believe everyone's needs are different. Yeah. So we have these 4 NGOs to cater for everyone. Yeah. We also have a Harapan Mulia campaign ongoing now. That is to raise funds for education for next year. So we are aiming to raise 500,000 to help 40 students, and also to establish a lot of charity clubs in schools and universities. So with the fund that we raise, I believe that will benefit a lot of youth. So I hope that, you know, with the audience, everyone in the public will be able to join us hand in hand to make this achievable.
All right, and let's hope this interview has inspired some to come forward and help with a great vision, great heart. Thank you so much to both of you for sharing your insights and inspiring stories today. I've been speaking to Darren Teoh and Andrew Lim from Great Vision Charity Association. This has been It's About Youth with me, Fei Kwan. Thank you for watching and see you next time.